Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I'm out at Dedication Point on the Snake River Canyon. It is a hot summer day. It's in the mid 80s, but trust me, there's just a full sun beating down and there's no shade here. Now there's a little bit of a breeze, but this has drone, if it's like the Mini 4 will have level 5 wind resistance and should be just fine with the amount of wind. 23-mile-an-hour gusts, they say, so that's right at about level 5, so it should be fine. Uh, this is going to be our first flight with this drone, and I've fired it up. This is the way I do things on my channel. I show the first flight, and when I say the first flight, it is the first flight. I fired it up at home last night to check to see if there were any firmware updates. There was nothing. Of course, I'll fire it up out here and it'll say it wants a firmware update, no doubt, right? However, you're going to see my first flight with this drone, and if it's anything like the Mini 4 Pro, which I suspect it is, we're going to be just fine. So we're going to get some really beautiful views today. I'm just looking over the edge here. The canyon is really beautiful today. So yeah, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. And this first flight, we are going to focus on video quality. Maybe we'll take a few pictures, but we're not going to do a lot of the intelligent flight modes or anything. I might look at some of the menus to show you what's there, but this is mostly about looking at the video quality. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I've got a screen recorder started and the drone fired up, and I can tell you it's already in this bright sun. It's hard to see the screen, but and that's one of the issues with having to use your mobile device for the FPV screen. However, it says we're ready to go. Start flying. It says it's connected, so we're going to click on that button right now. And pre-flight check. Yeah, I've been through that, so we're going to don't show again. Confirm. And look, we've got 100% battery, 23 satellites already, so just firing it up just this second. So as you can see, this interface looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? Let's take a look and see if we can set that. We want to go up to 4K 60. Yeah, so we can set 4K 60 on the camera. So, man, that's awesome. Let's take a quick look at that safety menu. This is going to look familiar to you. I've got it in bypass mode, max altitude 120 meters, no limit. Now earlier when I was looking at it, I couldn't slide the return to home altitude higher than 30 meters, but it looks like I can now. I wonder if, I don't know what that was, but yeah, so 30 meters is plenty for where we're at here. It's not asking for any calibrations. So I haven't done any calibrations. Last time this drone was ever calibrated was probably in Malaysia where it was built, but let's try it as is. Battery info looks good, right? That battery looks good. Let's go ahead and start recording right now. And we're recording, got that familiar recording sound. I don't see any reason not to take off. Let's try and let's do an automated takeoff on the app. So I'm gonna get out of the way. Make sure you can see the drone, tilting the camera down here, making sure that you can see it. And I'm going to click on that and hold down that takeoff button. Very familiar. Well, that sounds familiar. It sounds like another drone that I own. So let's spin it around here so you can get a look at it. And you can see where I'm standing here. If I can get it adjusted. I'm right on the wall here, right next to the canyon. So, but let's bring it in here to the camera a little bit. And it's, the wind is starting to blow. And man, my screen is so dark right now. I can barely see what I'm doing. But we're moving it back and forth so you can see that little gimbal in action. And it's working fine. So let's do our droney. I'm going to spin it around the other direction. So that we can back it out over the canyon for our droney. And I'm going to see if I can maybe even get some kind of shade here, because my phone is just, man, the screen is just almost dark. But let's do our droney here, reverse and up. And first flight with the with this little drone and sending it right out over the canyon. I see I have the camera pointed way too high. Let's drop that down a little bit and pull back, and let's send it out over the canyon. I am really struggling to see. I've got a little spot of some shade here that I can hold my my controller down into, but I'm not exactly pointed at the drone. And yeah, I saw a little stutter on FPV there, so we better get pointed at the drone. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the Snake River Canyon, and it looks really nice. What I see here looks beautiful. So again, we're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second, and we are just heading, well, this would be upriver, the direction that we're heading right now. And we'll get this guy up here and we'll just take a quick look. Can I help you? Are you okay? Yeah. No, that's absolutely. Okay, so let's just continue on up the river here, heading up the river. And as we get around the corner here, you're going to see the Swan Falls Dam. And again, I am really trying hard to see what I can see, and that's going to be a big downside of this drone on hot summer days like today, because you're having to use your mobile device. And you know, I hear people say Android phones don't dim like this. I don't know. Every iPhone I've ever had does, and I've got a little cooling gel pack even on the back of my iPhone. But when you're in direct sunlight and it's as hot as it is today, I don't think there's a lot you can do. But I can see, I can shade the the screen here, and I can see. And what you see off in the distance there is the Swan Falls Dam. Uh, nice little dam. You guys, anybody that watches my videos has seen that many times before. But again, on this flight, we're focusing on video quality. How fast we're going? We're going about a little over 12 meters per second. That is in normal mode. So in fact, let's switch it up into sport mode here. And let's see what we can get up to. So hitting that full stick forward in sport mode. Yeah, there is 15 meters per second, almost 16. I'm trying to remember what the advertised top speed for the Mini 4 Pro was. I think it's 16. And yeah, I'm getting I got a little tiny little stutter on FPV there, but of course we're not very high. So I'm going to grab a little altitude. Anyway, that is the Swan Falls Dam. You know what? Let's take the opportunity to, I'm going to center up on the dam here, and I'm going to hit the zoom button. And of course, that's just cropping in on the sensor. So there is 2 by, and I think 2 by is all we can go in 4K 60. And hit that again. No, it'll go to 3 by. Look at that. Let me center up a little bit. And again, you're cropping in on the sensor, so you know there's only so much you're going to see there. Let's hit it one more time. Yeah, and back to 1. So we'll go to 3 by. I couldn't remember what it was on the Mini 4 Pro. And obviously, I keep referring to the Mini 4 Pro because it's no secret that appears to be what this drone is based on. And again, you know, I'm getting a little bit of stutter on FPV. I am kind of in a little bit of a hole here as well. So again, trying to shade the darn thing so I can see what I'm doing. But let's get over to the edge of the canyon here. This always makes for a good dramatic shot. And there's some cool stuff to see here. So let's bring it down. And I got to remember I'm in sport mode, so you know, if I went flying into the edge of the canyon, it wouldn't be good. So got to remember, keep that in mind. The drone would not stop. But look at this, and we are about 13 meters per second. I love this look. Let me drop the camera down a little bit. And again, I'm seeing a little bit of stutter on my FPV screen, and I'm down in a hole, so that's going to explain part of that. But I'm certain if I had OcuSync 4, I probably wouldn't have that issue. So this trail, I've talked about this trail right here. I'm stopping right here for a second. This is a trail. We're going to go back into normal mode. I don't need to be in sport mode. This trail is, I've seen people walk down that. Grab some altitude here, and that's going to help our signal. But I have seen people walking down that trail. It's not anything you'll ever catch me doing, I can tell you that. So let's keep kind of bringing it back here. So moving forward, I just love this shot. I just think this always makes for a dramatic shot right on the edge of the canyon. And I'm going to take you by one of my other, I guess, objects that that I always often, not always, but often look at when I'm out here at the canyon. There's a compass here that was made way, way back in the early part of the 1900s for mail, for the mail planes to see an arrow pointing towards Boise. And it's been probably 10 years ago, the Boy Scouts, and I'm dropping an altitude here so we can get a better look. The Boy Scouts rebuilt it years ago. And I'm pretty stuttery on FPV here, so I don't know. Again, I'm kind of in a hole, but I don't know if that's the entire story. That's something worth noting. I'm just getting a little bit of stutter. But anyway, this is that is the I guess it's a compass, and that arrow points towards Boise and the mail planes coming through. And then right in front of it there, I'm going to grab some more altitude again. That used to say, "I love you, Mom," and it doesn't look like it says anything now from what I can see on my screen. Again, I'm definitely having some issues with being able to see my screen because it is dimming. I mean, it's not fully dim. I can see it, but it's not ideal. I'll just say that much. Okay, so here we are. Let's come right over the top of where we're at here. Let's just take a run down here. I'm bringing it down in altitude, picking up the camera a little bit, and we're gonna bring it right over the top of us here. Right over the top of us. Oh, cool seeing that little drone pitched over. And let's head back out over the canyon. Man, this thing is awesome. And again, I'm doing my best to try and be able to see what I'm doing because in the bright sun, it's just really difficult. Okay, let's go out this way a little bit, and you can check out the other part of the canyon. And again, I'm going to get kind of a little bit more altitude, and we're going to kind of stay close to the edge of the canyon because I just always think that makes for a nice dramatic shot. And where do we go? We're going 10 meters per second, not quite 10 meters per second in normal mode. And where are we at on battery? Shoot, we're only at 50% battery, so we're doing pretty good. Let's turn around now and let's get out over the canyon here. And I'm gonna stop recording, and we'll do some take a few pictures. In fact, let's bring it back this way towards us. Get by the big rock, and I think we can probably go into negative altitude here. as we get down into the canyon. I've got good line of sight on the drone, pointing the RC right at the drone, and it's yeah, it's doing pretty good here. Don't have that stutter that I had earlier, and I'm quite sure I'm standing right next to a rock, and I think I was trying to shoot through that rock to get to the drone. I think were my issues earlier. So we're at about, let's go down to about, well, it says negative 43.5 meters. It's not, let's see, I'm pulling down on the downstick. Yeah, now it's dropping down. I wanted to get to about 50 meters negative altitude. And I'm going to point it kind of towards the dam out there, and take a picture. It's interesting. I'm up here on the edge of the canyon, and there's a car going by down below, and you can, the way the sound travels, I can almost hear him. It just seems like he's right here. Okay, I am going to stop recording, and I'm holding, I'm actually holding my mobile device down low and just into some shade so I can see what I'm doing. And we are going to go into camera mode, photo mode, and let's pick up that camera just a little bit, and let's just take a picture. Yeah, that ought to look pretty good. Let's do a panorama picture too. So we're going to click on that little camera again, go down to the bottom where it says Pano, and let's see what it gives us. So yeah, it's giving us instructions at the bottom. I'm not going to do a sphere. Let's do, yeah, it's just giving us a 180 and a wide angle then other than a sphere. So let's do both of those. Let's do a 180. And you guys will be able to, we'll just stay in the same place, and you guys will be able to compare the three pictures. And I know like the Mini 4 Pro will stitch all these together, and I will find them on the SD card. Let's see if this drone does the same. So sometimes with even some DJI drones, you have to, panos end up on your camera roll. You've got to actually stitch them together in the Fly app. So it's taking a bunch of pictures here. And when I hold this thing down in the shade, I can actually see fairly well. So, yep, looks like it's generating. So we should find that. I'm suspect we're going to find that on the SD card. So there, it's done. Okay, so let's switch. Boy, I just got some wind came up, and I just got a mouthful of dust, and it's all over my phone too. Man, that was crazy. It's in my eyes and everything. Okay, let's switch to wide angle, and let's take another pano. That's the what happens when you're out in the wild, right? My phone is just covered in dust now, as if it wasn't hard enough to see. Shoot. Anyway, so we're about 50% through, and you guys are going to be able to look at these pictures, so this will be cool. Okay, we got that. Let's switch back into video mode, and we're going to fly the other way. We're going to go downriver. I'm going to start recording again now, and let's turn this guy around. Again, we're in normal mode, and let's fly it downriver. And let's see if we can get down. Let's see if we can get down low in the canyon here. I'm dropping altitude again. I've done this before, and the cool thing is where I'm standing right here, I got a direct shot at the drone. I've been down to 100 meters negative altitude with other DJI drones here. And I haven't changed anything with the gain and expo settings. So it's not letting me drop. It's funny how it knows, and it's not letting me drop in altitude anymore. It stopped, even though I was holding the left stick down. It's fun. I've noticed that with other DJI drones too. Let me stop here for a second. Yeah, now it'll let me drop in altitude. So let's go down. We're about 100 and almost 109 meters negative altitude. And let's just go down the river for a ways here. And I'm at a spot here. And let's see, where are we at battery wise? Yeah, so it's going to go into return to home here in a second. So this will be interesting. Let's see. You know, there's really no manual for this drone. What they give you is just a little piece of very thin paper that has a quick start guide on it. So, you know, everything that I'm telling you, I'm kind of going by what I know about the Mini 4 Pro. Uh, the actual specs of this drone and what it will and won't do are kind of a mystery. But this is really a cool spot right here. And yeah, low battery return to home. Let's just let it do it here. And let's see. And it's going to climb like crazy. And I was curious if we would see, on return to home, if we would see the, and look at it climb. It's climbing. If we would see the augmented reality green line, and we don't. So it's definitely, we can say the app is pared down a little bit, and it's climbing pretty quickly. I was pointed away from the drone there, and I had a little bit of a stutter on FPV. Again, I'm trying to shade my mobile device so I can see it. And yeah, we are coming over the top now. It's in positive altitude now. And it looks like it's doing what the Mavic or the Mini 4 Pro would do. It only goes as high as it needs to go, even though we had our return to home altitude set at 30 meters. And again, I get a little stutter, and it's right in front of me, and I'm seeing a little stutter on FPV, so I don't like that. Could that be because my phone is hot? I don't know, but that's kind of weird. And it dropped the camera down here, and yeah, I thought, yeah, okay, it's gonna be close, but not quite. So I canceled that because we want to get it over the, I don't want to land in the dirt here. So we're gonna go into Cine mode, and I'm gonna move it forward, bring it down a little bit. Let's move it forward and see if we can get it right over the pad. Okay, it is really wanting to land here. So let's see if we can get it over the center of the pad. And it's coming down. There we go. We're right on the pad. Let me get this little guy shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, so our first flight with the SKYROVER X1, I'm just thinking back here. I'm wondering if in my introduction, if I called it the SKYROVER X1 or if I called it a Mini 4 Pro. I don't remember. But first flight with the SKYROVER X1, it went pretty good. Now, this was probably not the ideal time and place to do the first flight with this thing. And this was my very first flight with this drone. So, you know, I'll get it in more controlled conditions later so we can go through the menu and look at some other stuff. But man, I just wanted to show you the canyon here and, you know, check and just see how the drone flew, and obviously the video quality. The sun is right almost directly above me in the sky, so really hot day. And that played out in the fact that my iPhone heated up, and there were times I could barely, well, I could always see the FPV feed, but it wasn't as clear as you would hope it to be. And that's, again, that's probably a disadvantage of this product, that it doesn't have that all-in-one controller. You got 600 nits that stays bright on the DJI RC or RC2 using now. And again, I know people talk about their Android phones stay bright. I don't know. I don't have one, but my iPhone dims, and I even put a little cooling pad on the back, but that is what it is. The other thing I saw for certain was stutter in FPV. So I'm going to kind of pan the camera around here. Give me just a second to get the camera off the tripod. I want to show you where I'm at here. So I'm really down in a hole. So when I was shooting towards the river out there. I was kind of shooting through these rocks and this vegetation, so that could have affected it. However, on the way back and return to home, the drone was right up there and I still saw some stutter on FPV. So I don't know what that's about. That, you know, again, could it be because my iPhone was overheating? Possibly, I don't know. We'll find out more. I'm gonna fly this drone a lot more, but you know, I'm focusing on a couple of the negatives. However, the drone flew fantastic. What did it fly like? It flew like a Mini 4 Pro, honestly, but handled perfectly. And we had some wind gusts and so forth, and it didn't seem to bother the drone any. A couple things I did notice, like when we did our return to home, we didn't get the augmented reality green line that we get on a DJI drone. And I also noticed it was off the pad. Now, precision landing, I don't think I took it up straight up 7 meters like DJI likes you to on their drones to get a good look at the pad. So, but it was a little bit so, and I don't even know if it has precision landing, right? You don't have any documentation, so you don't really know. But I think the most important thing is the video quality and how the drone flies. Now, I didn't adjust any gain in expo or any of that stuff, and it handled great. The flight controls were very precise. It was very easy to fly. So that's the first flight with the SKYROVER X1. I had a lot of fun, even in the heat here today, but I guess that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate that you took the time to watch this video today, and of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.